Today we'll be taking a closer look at Albion Online. Albion is a sandbox MMO that is being developed by German company Sandbox Interactive. One thing that's very unique about Albion Online is the game's cross-platform design. You'll be playing in the same world regardless if you log onto your iPad, desktop, or Android phone. You can check out the link in the description to see if your device is supported. Considering this, Albion's feature list is impressive and very exciting. The ambition of the game dwarfs the current mobile MMO market, and it is more comparable to what you would expect from a PC exclusive. The developers are motivated by their love for old-school MMOs like Ultima Online, so you can look forward to a lot of open PvP while exploring the world, the ability to control territory with your guild, an emphasis on crafting, and an overall more social experience in comparison to games like World of Warcraft. If you don't enjoy fighting other players, or if you would never risk getting yourself killed in the more dangerous areas of the game, you'll have a shorter ceiling of what you can achieve. However, that doesn't mean there's nothing for you to do. But more on that later. First, let's talk about some of the game's more basic features. The game is played from a top-down view. You move around the game world using a click-to-move interface and use hotkeys to activate your abilities. Atypical of the MMO genre, you don't pick a class when you start the game. Your abilities depend more on the outfit or weapons you equip, which keeps things really flexible. You can further design your character through the Destiny board. This is a large branching tree of specialized perks that allow you to get better at a specific combat style or crafting profession. Everything that you do in Albion will contribute to your fame, and the fame you receive will allow you to choose from these different perks. The Destiny board is pretty huge too, with many branching specialization paths that you can go down. Although you'll progress quickly through it during the early levels, it is one of the main long-term progression goals. Considering it is a top-down, cross-platform MMO, the combat is not very complicated, but that doesn't mean it's boring either. When your guild faces off against another guild in the open world, the battles can get pretty intense. Even when you are just grinding through mobs for some extra silver, the very real threat of being attacked by other players keeps things exciting. The higher level, or endgame focus, is on claiming territories with your fellow guild members and building your guild's city from the ground up. The world is divided into green, yellow, red, and black regions, which escalate in danger and hostility. For example, the red zone allows PvP and full loot of the items you have with you, but you must flag yourself as hostile if you plan on attacking other players. However, in the riskier black zone, flagging is not required, as everyone is hostile. This greater risk comes with much greater rewards, territory control, and material resources. If you're a part of a fearless PvP guild, there will be a lot for you to do, but being a solo player might be a bit more difficult. If you're interested in less fighty activities, there are plenty of things to craft, trade, and farm. The game features a fully player-driven economy, allowing for player-crafted armor and other items to be quite valuable. Most items are player-crafted, and because items degrade and may even drop on death, there will be a continual demand for crafters. Crafters are not a second thought in this game. To demonstrate that, let's just talk about one really cool feature that instantly attracted us. In most games, when you kill a bandit in the world, that NPC will drop a sword that has been generated out of thin air. The problem is, NPC dropped equipment nullifies player-crafted items because they are usually better and easier to get. This in turn means that there is a lower demand for a crafter's service. The black market is an attempt to close this loop. The black market is a creative way to redistribute player-crafted items to the NPCs of the world. When a bandit drops a sword, a buy order for that same sword will be placed on the black market. A player crafter can then sell that sword to the black market in order to replenish that NPC's loot. This is a little bit of a simplification, but that's the basic principle. In addition, the black market will depend on supply and demand. The amount of money you make for selling an item and the amount of items NPCs drop rely on the ebb and flow of the market. It will benefit both combat players and crafters alike. Combat players will be able to get great loot while exploring dungeons, and crafters should feel more useful because they play an important part of the PvE content. We'll have to stop ourselves because we can say a lot about how cool of a feature this is. A lot of MMOs would really benefit from a similar system. If that isn't enough peaceful content for you, you'll have your own personal island to build a house, grow crops, and raise animals. Albion Online has been one of the more hyped MMOs over the past few years, but that popularity has slightly fallen off due to the frequent launch delays. Comments about the game on many MMORPG community sites have been mixed. The most common complaints have been about the graphics, the PvP focus, and launch delays. However, it's pretty impressive to be able to access your same character on your home computer or on your tablet while on the go. And while the game probably should have launched last year, the developers have just released their final major beta update, and the official launch is set in stone for July 17th. Players' progress will be cleared right before the official release, which is happening pretty soon. So even if you do decide to buy the game right now, it might be good to hold off from playing for just a couple weeks. All in all, we are excited about this game, but we also have reasonable expectations for what it will be. We don't expect it to replace a bread-and-butter MMO like Final Fantasy XIV, but we are expecting a fun, portable game. And as a bonus, Albion seems to be something that you could really sink your teeth into if you wanted. If anything, it'll give us a quick and easy PvP fix for those weekends when we're out of town. So check out the links in the description, and you might be pleasantly surprised. Thanks for watching, and please subscribe to see what other games have us talking. If you have suggestions for what we should look at next, let us know in the comments.